And then we have Atlas. So Atlas is a Frenchie, and I mean, this is part of the job that I have. Is some days I'll just go to people's houses and hang out with their pet, with my client, and that's a great day. To think that I can be a lawyer, and some days just hang around with dogs and cats, it's pretty fun. But it's also super emotional. And with Atlas, I'm bringing Atlas with me today because he's still alive, but he had airway obstruction surgery a year and a half ago. So on October 1st of 24, and after the surgery, the vet used the heating pad, except they forgot about Atlas. And the heating pad burned Atlas's chest. And here we are a year and a half later, and Atlas has a permanent hole in his chest. I didn't bring those pictures, but right here is where you can see it, but it's actually 3 inches by 2 inches. Atlas can't play in the snow. Atlas can't go to the beach and play in the sand. He can't sit in the sun because it's so raw. And he's so low to the ground that he really can't go outside. And this veterinarian facility refuses to take accountability for it. And these are the types of things that we have courageous pet owners who are like, let's go battle. But really, I think that if more pet owners knew about the harms that are happening to other people's pets, it could be any one of us. And with Atlas, I got an email Sunday night from the client with more pictures, and Atlas had to go back to the doctor. And honestly, with the Atlas case, it makes me cry. When I see the dog and when I hear about the pain that he's going through, and no one will take accountability. They left the heating pad on too long. Instead, the veterinarian, their insurers, the lawyers are making us now where we filed suit a year ago. And we don't like to sue vets, but when they have to take accountability. In order to make things safer for our pets, we have to make sure the people who are caring for them take accountability. Financially, they're not required to take accountability. The law looks at our pets as property. We've had cases where we've been able to acknowledge that there's special type of property, but still the law does not want to put a dollar value on them that's more significant than the replacement value. But if we did, these places would be better about how they handle our animals. Boarding facilities, trainers, veterinarians, if they were going to be punished financially and they knew the stakes were higher, they would engage in better practices. But they know they're not. The value of these cases, people don't want to hire a lawyer because it could outpace what you could recover. But fortunately, when we get clients, every client is courageous because the clients we had 10 years ago made it better for the ones 8 years ago. And every year we see improvements in what we can obtain in terms of recoveries for people. But it's not about the money. We take the case, and the people who come to us want us to take the case to make it better for the next pet owner so they don't have to go through this again. And this could be, like I said, any one of us who go to the vet, who go to a boarding facility, who go to a trainer, who go to a groomer, and you find out after that there's not much you can do to hold them accountable. And that's why so many fights or bad reviews and things like that take place in social media. It would be better for these professionals if they took accountability and improved their practices rather than having their business outed on social media, because that's not a good way to handle it either.